Word of the day: silage versus sillage. Two words, one extra letter, completely different words. One of them lives on a farm, the other lives on your skin. In a crowded room, in the seconds after someone walks past you, and you think, wait, what was that perfume? Today's word of the day is actually a pair: silage and sillage. They look almost identical on paper. They sound nothing alike when you say them properly. By the end of this video, you will never mix them up again, and you'll have five real situations where you can use one of them and sound like you know exactly what you're talking about. Let's get into it. Let's start with the one most people mispronounce first: silage. Silage. Okay, silage. Say it with me slowly: silage. Rhymes with village but starts with silage. Okay, it's an English word, straightforward spelling, straightforward sound, two syllables, done. Now, the tricky one. I also got it wrong the first time I made it, and I even made a wrong video and got called out for it. Sillage. This one is French and it keeps its French sound even in English. Sillage. That sound, j. It's like the one in measure, treasure. And one more time, back to back, say it with me so that your ear can hear the difference. Silage and sillage. Same letters, almost completely different mouths. So, what is silage actually? Silage is fermented, high moisture animal feed, usually made from grass, corn, or other green crops, packed tightly, stored without air so it ferments instead of rotting. And farmers make it to feed livestock through the winter when fresh grass isn't growing. Think of it as pickled grass, preserved food for cows, sheep, and goats. It's a literal agricultural feet on the ground kind of word. Here are three everyday scenarios where you would actually hear it used. Scenario 1: driving through the countryside, you pass a field with big white plastic wrapped bales, and someone in the car says, "Those big white bales, that's silage." They wrap it airtight so it ferments properly before winter. Scenario 2: a conversation with a farmer or at a farmer's market. This has been a tough year for silage. Not enough rain in spring meant a smaller first cut. Here, silage is shop talk. It's part of someone's actual livelihood. Okay. Scenario 3: a documentary or news report about agriculture. Rising fuel costs have made silage production more expensive for small dairy farms this year. Still literal, still about actual fermented crops, just in more formal reported context. So, silage is like real physical farm based, nothing poetic about it yet. Okay, now let's talk about sillage. And this is where the word gets beautiful. Sillage comes from the French word for wake, as in the trail a boat leaves behind it in the water. In English, it is borrowed by the perfume world to describe the scent trail a fragrance leaves behind as you move. The little cloud of you that lingers in a room, in an elevator, in a hallway after you've already left. A perfume with strong sillage announces itself. A perfume with weak sillage is polite and stays close to the skin. Neither is better. It depends what impression you want to leave. In a perfume shop, you might hear, "I love how this one smells up close," but the sillage is really soft. You would barely notice it after an hour. Or the opposite. Careful with that one. The sillage is huge. You will fill the whole room. That's sillage doing its original job. Describing a scent trail, simple, sensory, literal. But here's where sillage becomes one of my favorite words in the English language because People have started using it figuratively, beyond perfume entirely. If something can leave a trail in the air, why can't a person leave a trail in a room? A feeling, a presence, a memory. Figurative scenario 1, describing someone's presence. She left the meeting 20 minutes ago, but her sillage is still here. Everyone's still buzzing about that pitch. Here, sillage isn't about perfume at all. It's about the lingering impact of a person's energy, confidence, or ideas after they have physically left the space. Figurative scenario 2, describing a memory or an era. Even years after the breakup, there was a certain sillage to it. A feeling that would drift back on certain songs, certain streets. Or think bigger, describing a historical figure. Long after the empire fell, its sillage lingered in the language, the architecture, the laws that outlived it. That's the poetic power of this word. It lets you talk about the absence that still smells like presence. Something is gone, but its trail hasn't faded yet. Let's bring it home. Silage, fermented animal feed. Farms, fields, agriculture, fully literal. Sillage, sillage. The scent trail of fragrance leaves behind, literally about perfume, but figuratively, it's about the trace a person's memory or a moment leaves behind after they are gone. Same root letters, two completely different journeys. One ends up feeding cattle, the other ends up in poetry. So, next time you smell something unforgettable in a hallway, or you are still thinking about someone's energy hours after they have left, you will have the word for it. That's today's word of the day. Silage and sillage, the word of the day. And if my sillage lingers through the videos or even after the videos, do leave a message out here and let me know how will you use it figuratively. See you guys.